Welcome to Reread, where I'm rereading through the expanded universe in chronological order. Folks, we are on the Cestus Deception by Stephen Barnes. This is one that has Count Dooku on the cover, but he's not in the book. He's mentioned, but he's not in the book. So false advertisement there. And Kit Fisto is on the cover, which everyone was like, ooh, Kit Fisto. And then Obi-Wan. I remember my original review, I said I really don't remember this as the least memorable book for me, and it still is today. It was actually... come to think of it, the lowest selling novel of all the Star Wars Expanded Universe too, and for good reason, even though there are worse books out there for sure. This one is not technically a winner. In a lot of parts it falls flat. But basically, Obi-Wan and Kit Fisto get put on a mission to go to Cestus to stop them or convince them to stop making JK droids. JK stands for Jedi Killer, is what they're saying. But JK droids are like these fancy security droids. They cost a lot. There's a long line of orders waiting for them. And the rumor is they could even kill a Jedi. They're so good. And with when Kit Fisto joins in a demonstration of facing off against one, he barely beats it. And so everyone's like, whoa, these things are the real deal. So the Republic doesn't want them to produce any of these anymore. The Separatists, of course, do. They want to have the exclusive contracts for these. So Obi-Wan and Kit Fisto are brought to Cestus to make a deal with the local government. Now, the big question here is, where is Anakin? Well, Stephen Barnes decided he didn't really want to write about Anakin, so he just says that the council only wants General Kenobi or Obi-Wan Kenobi to go, and they don't want Anakin. They want him to stay there. There's really no reason given, and it's very pathetic and very thin. It's just that Stephen Barnes did not want to have Anakin in his story, and so he wrote him out in the worst way possible. When they get on the planet, they have to deal with a lot of the local government. There's a local government storyline. There's characters from the local government fighting within their own government to do what is right for the Hive. It's a group of aliens who are like worms or grubs or something, and you know, they're aliens, not technically insectoids. I didn't get, but they're trying to do what's best for the whole Hive. And there's like these 5 families that run everything. So there's some inner politics going on. All of it is boring. You don't care. In fact, if I could highlight those, if someone would do you the favor of just highlighting all those scenes with them in it, just skip over them, and you'll have a much better book. It's sad that Kit Fisto is on the cover, but he's not in it that much. Like, he's in it in pieces here and there. At the beginning, he's in it more than later on. He's just kind of brought in as a side character who's someone for Obi-Wan to talk to, and then he kind of disappears from the storyline, and it goes back to Obi-Wan. And even Obi-Wan is missing for a little bit in the story. Like, he lands on the planet. He does some ballroom dancing. I'm not making this up. He dances divinely at the ball. So he's trying to politic. They do something that is so far outside of a Jedi's character, it was insane. Obi-Wan tries to deceive the government. Since they don't know who Kit Fisto is, Kit Fisto pretends to be a bad guy to, you know, hurt one of the 5 families. And Obi-Wan steps in as the hero, and they do a whole charade to act like Obi-Wan was the Jedi to save them. But, somebody in the shadows, Ventress, who I completely forgot was in this, and for good reason too. She's only in the shadows saying, I'm going to kill Obi-Wan. I'm going to kill Obi-Wan. Then he's like, why don't you kill whoever the king, or not the king, or whoever the government agent's like, so why don't you kill Obi-Wan? And she goes, my master Dooku says I can't. Well, then why did you make this big fuss over it? Then later on, guess what? She goes after Obi-Wan anyway, because Stephen Barnes is like, oh, okay, I guess I got to have him fight. He has him fight underwater, where something happens and she knows she can't win, so she screams underwater. This is what I read. And black ink appears everywhere, and then she disappears. That's how she gets away. Again, what? I'm just shocked that we have writers here that just don't understand how a story should plot along. It just seemed choppy to me. Obi-Wan is in there, but why would he deceive the government? And then, of course, when he's embarrassed, they're like, oh, get out of here, you have deceived me. And the one good guy, supposedly, that's trying to help the Jedi out, feels betrayed too, and Obi-Wan feels bad. Yet, why would they want to believe the Jedi? Well, that's because when Obi-Wan does save them for real, they're like, oh, okay, now they're good, the Republic's good. Honestly, it's really that dumb, how the solution is to the whole problem. So I was... You know, like I said, not the worst part, and here I'll tell you why. The reason it's not the worst part is there is a clone called Nate who halfway through the book gets a name change. It's like he already has a nickname, but this girl on the planet, she falls in love with him because she knew Jango Fett, and she kind of had the hots for Jango Fett back in the day, and he looks like Jango Fett, even though she finds out he's not anything like Jango Fett. That relationship, yes, they have a relationship, and he gets her pregnant at the end after he dies. Spoilers there. But I'd forgotten about all that. I knew they were kind of, you know, flirting with each other in the book last time I read it, but I didn't know it went that far. And probably because that's only hinted at the very end of the book when Obi-Wan realizes she's pregnant with child from Nate, or now his name is Jango Tat, halfway through, because Jango Tat in Mandalorian means brother of Jango or something. And their relationship at first is really interesting. Why do you want to change? And he's like, if he's really more of a main character or just as main character as Obi-Wan, he's on level playing field with him. Why do you want to change his name? See, he already has a nickname, Nate, but she goes, we need to give you a real name. Let's give you a real... No, Nate is fine. There's nothing wrong with Nate. Call him Nate. But then Jango Tat now. And it's so weird because the next chapter's like, the newly named Jango Tat, and he has to go to Obi-Wan. My name's Jango Tat, sir. Just to remind the reader that he's now called Jango Tat. It was Nate, but now it's Jango Tat. Reader, are you following along? And then later on, he does the same thing to Kit Fisto. Nate! Oh, I'm sorry. You may remember the man who was formerly known as Nate says, I am Jango Tat now. Ah, Jango Tat. Okay, good. You've picked a name. Kit Fisto talks about the importance of picking a name, and Jango Tat's a great name. Jango Tat is now Nate. Readers, I mean, just clubbing you over the head. You made a change halfway through your book. We're used to calling him Nate. I don't understand that. I think that's dumb. And I think Jango Tat sounds worse. I was enjoying Nate. But anyway, I do like their relationship, how he kind of studies her. Even though he's trying to do small talk, he can't help pick up on some, you know, differences on phrases she said, how she said them, her body movement. And that's really good because I think someone who's in the Army would be picking up on all those things. At the same time, he tries to keep fooling her with some of his brothers, his clone brothers, who go up to her and go, hey, girl. She's like, you're not Nate, or you're not Jango Tat. Come on, I know. Jango Tat has a particular walk because he got injured a long time ago. And Jango Tat's like, oh, I did. She recognized that. So then he gets someone who walked, a clone who walked like him, and then she says, you're still not Jango Tat. Jango Tat has a scar right underneath his chin, right here. I mean, like, she pays attention to detail too, and that's why he likes her. I'm totally fine with a non-Jedi falling in love with a clone. I have no problem with that. In fact, I'd forgotten about her being pregnant at the end completely. Like I said, I even forgot about Ventress being in it because she appears every so often threatening to kill Obi-Wan, then says she can't kill Obi-Wan, then changes her mind and says, maybe Dooku will forgive me later. I don't know. It's just really bad. Not the worst. Not the worst EU book out there, but definitely not the best. All right, folks. That's it for now. See you next time.